Hello, my name is Juan Beltrán, and today I'm going to explain and to share you a personal symbolic project I developed for the course Design and Social Change. The proposal is titled Thoughtful Proposal, and it explores how memory, territory, and emotional experience can be connected through design. This project began not with theory or external references, but from a personal and intimate experience, the death of my grandmother. Her passing led me to reflect on how we, as families and as communities, inhabit spaces emotionally, and how, in moments of grief, those everyday places become sacred. My grandmother lived her entire life in the Las Ferias neighborhood in Bogota. That was her place in the world, where she grew up, raised her family, went to church, and built her everyday life. When she passed away, she asked that her farewell take place there, and that's exactly what we did. Her funeral masses were held at the San Joaquin Parish, the church she attended regularly. Then her, then her ashes were symbolically buried inside a small virgin statue located in the park near her home. This wasn't part for a formal cemetery. This wasn't part of a formal cemetery. It was something intimate and deeply meaningful. That act, while simple, transformed the park into something else. It became a sacred space for my family. The parish, which I used to perceive as cold and distant, also became part of our emotional landscape. This moment showed me how territory and memory are connected, how emotions give meaning to the spaces we move through every day. To analyze this event, I didn't use formal documents or historical archives. I turned to oral memory, especially conversations with my mother. Together, we remembered how everything happened: the preparations, the messes, the decision to place the ashes in the Virgin, and what that meant to us. There are few photographs from that time, but there are many emotions and many stories. And that, I realized, I realized, is also an archive. Memory is not always visual, it can be spoken, felt, and experienced. I also observed how spaces, the park and the parish, changed for us after this ritual. What was only that was once ordinary became symbolic. It reminded me that public spaces often hold private memories even when they look neutral from the outside. From a cultural point of view, I focused on understanding Las Ferias as a traditional Bogotan neighborhood, full of communal ties and invisible rituals. I studied photographs of the area, the buildings, the church, the parks, and how they create a sense of place. In working class neighborhoods like Las Ferias, death is not a private affair, it is collective. It brings neighbors together. Ritual like mass, a rosary, or even an altar in someone's home are acts of resistance, identity, and care. Burying the ashes in a virgin statue in the park is not just a religious act. It's a territorial and emotional claim. It's a way of saying, this space matters to us. This is where we exist and remember. In Bogota, a city that changes rapidly and often forgets, these gestures preserve our roots. They keep our family stories alive in concrete and symbolic ways. The theoretical foundation of this project came from the text Desde la Raíz by Roger Huérfano, which speaks about design as a bridge between territory and memory. That idea resonates deeply with my personal experience. I also imagine inspiration from Jesus Martin Barbero, who says that new cultural narratives emerge from what is not usually thought of as a narrative, from the margins, from intimacy, from orality. The phenomenon can be represented in a controlled space through a symbolic installation that evokes the emotional journey of that moment. What happened with my grandmother is not an isolated event. It's a part of a silent tradition in a many neighborhoods. A tradition of resigning pain through collective memory and of using design. In, in 2025 or in 2025, we are valuing more and more our roots, our emotional memory, and our communal spirituality. This project is my way of honoring my grandmother, but also of recognizing the many other unwritten stories that live in the spaces we inhabit. It's a reminder that design is not only about functionality, it's about meaning. These slides these slides show how the Las Ferias neighborhood has evolved not only constructively and designedly, but also culturally and symbolically. It is a neighborhood where the long-standing roots of Bogota are still in force.